Burkina Faso recently signed a nuclear deal with Russia, allowing Russia to transfer or to build nuclear plants in Burkina Faso. So you can see the stride that the revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso is making so far he came into power. Who could have believed that Africa will have a nuclear power plant being built in the African soil after years and years of not even achieving a stable electricity in any country in Africa. This was made known to the public during the interview with Burkina Faso's for Energy Minister, Mr. Galba, that Russia is willing to support African nuclear energy or nuclear power plants under the agency called Rosatom. So you can see that Africa is actually coming up. And Burkina Faso wants to do this. Traore says that the reason for this being that Burkina Faso needs every energy they can. They need to have to be sustainable with energy supply. So the Russia-Burkina Faso electronuclear program called Rosatom will allow Burkina Faso to have or to manufacture its own energy through the nuclear power plants. This is a giant stride for a country like Burkina Faso to achieve in just a very short span. You can see that Russia is actually playing a partner than being a controller. Russia and Burkina Faso has teamed up. Even ECOWAS countries visited Burkina Faso recently. AU countries, African Union countries visited Burkina Faso, trying to find out information on how to go about things that are going on in their countries since after Trump shut down the Washington or shut the doors on these African countries, enrolling 29 countries of Africa into US banned countries, US visa banned countries. So it opened their eyes to know that this is a very serious warning, that more is coming. They are now going back to find out from Traore how they can go about it. So we can see that Russia has been a fair player. We can't predict for sure, but at least so far we can see that the strides that Traore has made in every facet of the economy to keep the country that is the least expected to come up to this point has been so encouraging that nobody can deny the fact that Traore has made so many giant strides to make the country or his country better. So moving on to Nigeria, the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has called Nigerian government a joke.
Nigeria today is not a democratic country. Let's stop telling ourselves lies. If you look at all the tenets, look at all the yardstick of measuring democracy, it doesn't exist here. Simple definition, democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Today, the government we have is not of the people. It's not by the people because the people didn't vote. It wasn't their votes. I'm not just talking about presidency. Across the line, look at what happened in Edo. Can you call that democracy? It is not vote of the people. So what are you doing for a country that just spent 21 billion naira to renovate a house for the vice president, which is not, hasn't packed in, is not living there. And you cannot even have a primary school for kids who are going to be leaders of Nigeria tomorrow. For people who pass through the same process, to deny these kids this opportunity today. So it is not a democratic country. You can't have a democracy without, again, an independent judiciary that fights for the common person. I can go on and on.
That the way Nigeria is at the moment, that is on life support. He said a lot of things that really made sense to, in fact, anybody that sees the way or the situation of Nigeria at the moment. The rate of unemployment in Nigeria, which is over the roof, the dilapidated state of the healthcare system, lack of education for over half of the population or the youth of Nigerians. He lamented so many things about Nigerian system. And these are very obvious things that nobody can deny that is happening in Nigeria. The rate of hunger in Nigeria is so alarming that people resort to other diabolic means to make money. Cost of governance in Nigeria has never been seen like any other in any part of the world. So government people or politicians are the ones milking Nigerians and using Nigerian resources. And Nigeria has so many bad debts. So that made Peter Obi to call Nigerian state a joke. So anybody that is from Nigeria will know that the man is making sense because the Nigerian system is totally collapsed. In fact, it's beyond life support because the country is in a very serious mess. People are suffering, people are dying. One thing you will say about Nigeria at the moment that is good, the whole system is collapsed and people are still applauding the present government. People are still praising the present government because people are divided in the lines of ethnicity, religion, and tribalism. So let us see what happens as 2023 election has happened and people believe that it was rigged. Let's see what happens in the 2027 election with the APC government campaigning for the next election to be in power. Nigerians are lamenting so far that they've not seen anything good out of this present APC government led by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that it is the worst government Nigeria has ever had so far. So we move to Cameroon, where Paul Biya, the president of Cameroon, still wants to be the next president. He's still running for the seat after being in government or being the president of Cameroon since 1982 up until date. He still wants to become the president of Cameroon. At 92, Paul Biya should be thinking of retirement. In fact, thinking of arranging his life to exit this world. But at 92, he still wants to be the next president, as there's 7 times the president. This is the 8th one. The civil society in Cameroon are calling all the people, all the stakeholders to boycott Paul Biya in the next election to be the president of Cameroon. Even though some of the traditional leaders who are pot-belly leaders who have been taking money from Paul Biya are supporting him, saying that his presidency for the next in this October 2025 elections will support continuity and stability. One wonders how that will work in Cameroon, how this 92-year-old man wants to be in the seat of power, ruling from Swiss country hotel, while the country is in turmoil, while the country is burning. Why do most African leaders not want to relinquish power or maybe give power when as a due? He has been in that power for a long time and they shouldn't let him in, because Cameroonians, if they should vote in any way, if they don't stand up for themselves this time around, which means the country will keep on collapsing. Let me know what your thoughts are so far in all this going on in Africa, from Nigeria to Cameroon to Botswana to other parts of Africa. Africa is in a phase where they are trying to transit from years and years of colonialism to see if they can stand for themselves, to see if they can build capacity to stand in the world stage. But nevertheless, there are so many things that are still standing in the way of this continent, Africa. But hopefully, Africa will thrive, Africa will push, and Africa will survive. So these are some of the issues going on in African continent at the moment. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.